Jovar and the Athletic, what's the most alarming part about tonight?
Our transition defense was better. And then half court, they shot the ball really well. Wasn't clean with our switches. I think after that first quarter, we gave up 2 40-point quarters, second quarter and fourth quarter, and you can't do that and win. So, wasn't really clean with our switches a lot of times. And then when we were switching, we were still getting beat up the dribble to the basket. So, got to improve in those areas.
When you take a loss tonight against a team like the Hawks that is outward about its rebuilding, do you have to pause and think about where you guys are right now and what you have to try to do to turn around? Or I recognize the season's 3 games old, but I would expect you guys didn't see this one coming.
I don't understand your question.
Given the loss that you had tonight, does that ring any alarm bells within your office, within the locker room, just about the direction that you guys are headed?
No.
Ty Haydengrove, Cleveland.com. You mentioned before the game you were going from 11 to 10. It looks like JR, Kyle. What went into that decision for you?
I don't know.
Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. You're talking about guys getting beat to the basket. Notice that Kevin Love's been isolated in the first few games by a lot of teams. What can you do to combat that if he's not fast enough to recover against those speedy guards?
We got to shrink the floor better, I think, and, it's something we want to try to do to stagnate the offenses so they can't, just come down and score as quickly. But, we got to do a better job. So if Kevin can't guard those quick guards, then we have to go to the show. But it also puts you in a scramble defense to give up threes as well. So it's a tough predicament. So we just got to get better at what we're doing.
Ty, Ron Potesta, the Sports Animal 1390. Atlanta hit 22 threes. Was that a result of the switching that was a little too slow, and that was the result of Atlanta getting some wide open shots?
Yeah, not communicating with our switches a couple times. A lot of times not switching up on the switches. They stopped behind and shot a few. And then, when we're supposed to switch, we're not switching, and guys are pulling in, they're rolling to the basket and skipping out for 3. So we got to clean up every area tonight. We wasn't really good at all defensively outside of that first quarter. So we just got to be better than that.
Before the game, we were talking about Colin and how he likes to play against the better players. I know Trae Young's a rookie, but what did Colin struggle with tonight in your eyes?
I think more so defensively. I think, he took it personal. I think a lot of times he was trying to fight over the screens and to guard Trae, but that's not what we want to do. We wanted to switch, and I think, taking it because of the competitor that he is, wanting to guard Trae, sometimes, we didn't do the right coverage. So that's basically it. Trae is in a position where he's the number 1 option. He can shoot all the balls when he wants to. Colin's more in a situation, he's come off the bench right now, and you have an all-star playing in Kevin, got some older guys that can play as well. So it's just different situations. But I would say as far as the growth is, I think his competitive nature got the best of him tonight. So, but he's going to get better with that. It's only the 3rd game, and we love his competitive spirit, his nature, and we just got to get better at what we're trying to do.
Anything else? Last one down.
What have you thought of Jordan the first 3 games?
He's been really good. I think coming off the bench, giving us that offensive spark that we need to score the basketball. I think defensively he's trying. He's fighting the bigs on the switches. He's fronting the post like he's supposed to. He's boxing out. So Jordan's been all around. He's been really good, this whole preseason. So, preseason and on to the regular season, so hopefully he can keep it up.
You got to have somebody come off the bench and score for you. But is he a guy that you could see turning to as a starter eventually?
I haven't thought that far along, but he can definitely play, starter minutes. I think he's a guy that, like I talked about before, like a Jamal Crawford who can come off the bench and score, or if you need to, you can start him, and he's that type of player. So I haven't thought about that as of right now, but, if something happens, he could be a starter if we need him to be.
Marla Ridenauer, Akron Beacon Journal. I know Kevin's rusty and all that, but do you almost need his firepower to kind of get the other guys going?
I think, starting out the game early, he did a good job of posting the basketball, getting to where he wanted to get to. And then they went to the double team and kind of took him out of his post up. So, if they're going to double team, then, we got to make shots. We got to swing the basketball out of the double team and drive and kick and try to create offense that way. So they did a good job of trying to, double them to keep him out of the post because they were small. And, when he's aggressive scoring the basketball, it opens it up for everyone else.